Lost Ark patch notes, August 2023. So, Henry, how many pages is that?
Over 70 pages, Michael.
All right, and are we going to read all that today?
No, we're not. The goal of this video is to be a little bit more of an express experience, so players don't have to read through all 22,000 words, but we can cover some of the highlights instead.
Okay, so what exactly are we doing here today? What is the show? What are we doing?
Yeah, so this is a new video that we're trying to experiment with. It's Patch Notes with Henry. I'm going to go through all of the highlights in the patch notes so that players don't have to read through 22,000 words on their own. The goal is for this to be a monthly segment that we do, so we have a more express version of the patch notes for people on the go or who just want a video format instead. We've been trying to do more video projects recently with the roadmap, debate club, and this is the next in that line in that series.
All right, why don't you dive in, because you got a lot of stuff to cover.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. So like I said, the goal of this video is to cover the highlights. For all of the very specific changes, feel free to read through. If there's just a segment you want to check out, you can go find the specific numbers, detailed balance changes, that sort of thing in the release notes, which will be below this on the website. But right now, I'm just going to talk through the highlights and some of the big changes that are coming in. Perhaps the biggest change, and one of the coolest raids, I think, in Lost Ark is arriving in this update. We have the Akkan Legion raid. It's the Plague Legion Commander Legion raid where you'll face Akkan in an 8-player raid. We're dropping both normal and hard mode. Normal is going to come in at 1580 and hard is going to be item level 1600. There's also a practice mode like both Belshazzar and Kakul Sadon, so if you need some practice at a lower item level, you can hop in there and still earn some rewards. Quick lore snippet before we move on. Akkan is back. His body has been gathering in Arthentine, and it's time to put a stop. His diseased plague is slowly killing all of the residents, so it's time to hop in and put a stop to that before it overcomes even more of Arcasia.
Yeah, so question. So Akkan, cool, Demon Legion Commander, awesome. What are the benefits of this? Like, what does the player get out of this experience?
Yeah, so one of the big rewards is upper level ancient gear. So the next, big increase in gear, new gear sets that you can gear transfer into are going to drop. You can earn the crafting materials in both normal and hard mode. Hard will drop more, just like Belshazzar and previous raids. But yeah, crafting that is going to be, a big thing. It introduces the next set of honing materials as well. So there's new obliteration stones, new leap stones, all of that stuff. Those will also be earnable in Akkan. And we're also updating a few existing pieces of content to drop those materials as well. So they'll drop from Kyangal Hard now. They're also going to drop in the new Guardian raid Sonavel, and also in the new Chaos dungeons that are arriving.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just brought up Sonavel. Why don't we hop into that?
Yeah, absolutely. So another way of earning some key materials is the new Guardian raid Sonavel. You might notice, if you're looking at it spelled out, that it is Lavanos backwards, and that is because Sonavel is the evil iteration of Lavanos, who was once the protector of the wilds of Arcasia and has now gone over to the dark side. He is fully embraced his identity as a Chaos Guardian, and it's up to players to put a stop to that. The new Guardian raid is going to be item level 1580 and drop all of the new materials. One of the other cool things you can get is a new legendary Galewind rune that will drop from the new tier of Guardian raids that Sonavel is the first one of. So we have both Akkan and Sonavel. Those are the main new raids. The other really big highlight coming is obviously the Aeromancer advanced class. The second specialist class, she's super unique, has a really cool suite of skills using both her umbrella as a weapon and harnessing the power of the weather for a bunch of really cool attacks. I think the animations are just awesome. So she's arriving for anyone that's excited to play her. And whether or not you're excited to quickly level up an Aeromancer or try out another class you've been eyeing for a while, we have the Super Mokoko Express event, which is geared to quickly get a character up to item level 1540 and even help beyond that, since you'll be getting some gems and honing materials all the way up to item level 1580, which puts you right where you need to be for Sonavel, Akkan, and the new Chaos Dungeons as well. The Super Mokoko Express event is also way better than some of the previous Hyper Express events. The gems that are dropping are going to be higher, and it's going to come with engraving support that is 5x3, so you can really get a good setup for whatever character you activate that on. It lasts until November, so you have plenty of time to either take it slow and earn all the rewards that you're getting along that track, or if you're trying to push fast, you can do that too.
So those are the big ones. How about the other 75,000 pages?
Yeah. So like Michael said, those are the big changes coming. There's also a bunch of key changes coming to daily activities, which we know players have been really looking forward to, and we're excited to integrate them as fast as we've been able to. So starting off, we have Chaos Dungeons. The monsters are going to aggro a lot faster. It's going to speed up the whole experience of the dungeon. Spawn density is higher. New card drops are going to be available in the Chaos Dungeons themselves, and a new reward has been added to both that and Guardian Raids, which I will talk about in just 1 second. Speaking of Guardian Raids, there's going to be a few changes you see when you log in. There's a new way of categorizing the Guardian Raids. All of the existing Guardian Raids in the game are going to be categorized under Vergrease's test, and then a new category is going to be available moving forward with Sonavel as the first one, which is the Chaos Guardian Purification. So it kind of shows the practice that you've been having, and now the war against the Chaos Guardians is starting, and it's a new segment there. But the change you probably care about the most is that we are dialing it back so that players will only need to clear 1 Guardian a day to get all of the rewards. And of course, we're amping up the amount of rewards that you gain in a single Guardian raid to make up for that change. So the reward system that I mentioned just a second ago for Chaos Dungeons, also available in Guardian Raids. They're called Fate Embers, and it's a new item that can drop in both Chaos Dungeons and Guardian Raids, where you interact with it and it gives you a random bonus reward, which is super cool. It could be anything from a ton of silver to gold even, cards, card XP. So it's a fun new system that makes playing those activities feel a little bit better, because you never know when you'll get one of these to drop. It'll drop more often if you're using rest bonus, and the rewards are also kind of in tune with where you are at in the game. So if you're playing higher level Guardian Raids or higher level Chaos Dungeons, the rewards will be amped up a little bit. Yeah, so Fate of Embers, I think it's better to just show you. I'm going to go hop in a Chaos Dungeon and let's see if I can get one to drop for me.
Wait, are we leaving this room in this delightful set I've put together for you?
If you've unlocked it and are finally letting me out, then yes.
Okay, I guess we're going to leave this room.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're hopping in a Chaos Dungeon, one of the new Elgasia ones. See if we can get a Fate Ember to drop. Please don't judge my build. I'm playing the internal build. Have a raid build set up, and we're doing a Chaos Dungeon with it. Come on, game. Oh, we got one to drop. I have no idea what we're gonna get. Some of the options are silver, gold, legendary cards, card XP. There's a lot of different options of what you can get. So let's get rid of these ads and check it out. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, 1,000,000 silver. That is pretty clutch when you're trying to hone with your new Akkan gear. Sweet. Yeah, so those are the key changes coming to daily activities. There's a ton more. There's field boss changes, abyssal dungeon changes, couple Argos changes. If you want the specifics on those, feel free to go read through. Like I said, can't cover everything in this video, so we're just trying to hit the highlight reel. The next key bracket of changes is mostly for new players, so we're going to cover it quickly. But if you're a new player looking to get into Lost Ark and want the specifics, feel free to go read through it in the patch notes. But we have a big change coming to the way that tiers 1 and 2 work. They're being consolidated into a single tier. For anyone that played through the game, maybe even played through the main storyline on multiple characters since we launched a year and a half ago, you know that there's a lot of honing, a lot of early gear changes, and the goal of this is to just consolidate everything and make it a bit more of an express experience for new players looking to get into the game, play through the storyline, that sort of thing. Because of those item level changes that are happening in the earlier tiers, there's also a few happening in early tier 3 that you might notice. But for players that are further along in their journey and playing more of the current content coming into the game, there won't be any noticeable or major impacts on your gear. Along with that, for new players, we're also extending some of the buffs provided by the Mokoko buff and also by Procyon's protection. So new players will have a little bit more of a combat boost when they get into the game as well.
So we're going to talk about Tuki Bang Bang?
Yeah, that and a few more events.
Cool.
Like I was just talking about with the Tier 1, Tier 2, and early Tier 3 revamp, we also have a new Story Express event coming in, which will also help new players looking to get into Lost Ark. So Story Express event is going to last until November, and a player can use that on a new character on their roster, either a new player or if you want to play the storyline over again, be my guest. Along with that, we have a few other events coming in. We have the second half of the Maharaka Festival happening this summer with the new Tuki Bang Bang event, where you will battle a big Tuki with water guns and some other fun toys, and just have a blast in the sun in Arcasia. Fun summer in Arcasia. On top of that, we have two other events coming in. We have the new Playtime reward event, which is a new system for rewarding players based on how much they're playing the game. You can log in, and then I think if you play up to 90 minutes, you can get some pretty cool new rewards. So keep an eye out for that when you're logging in the coming weeks. And the final one is the Golden Frog is making a return. We know players have been requesting that, so we were able to pull that into this update too. You can spend gold on a variety of honing materials or legendary engraving books, so have fun gambling for those new expensive Aeromancer ones. So we have 3 cosmetic collections arriving in this update. We have the Aeromancer launch skins and a new Neria's wardrobe, which you can see here. And on top of both of those collections, we also have the brand new Midnight Summer skins that just launched in Korea. Super excited that we're able to have those for the second half of the Maharaka Festival. Really fits the theme of summer fun in Arcasia. So now you can see those showcased here.
And with the power of editing, we have just seen the cosmetics.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to picking up some of those for my new Slayer main.
Okay. Next.
All right, and that covers it for the store section. Let's dive into the remaining 50 plus pages. So yeah, there's a ton of quality of life, general changes in here, worth taking a read through if you're interested. But some of the really key ones are the way that warriors look, the character model is being changed in this update. And on top of that, there's a lot of changes to sailing content. It also consolidates the number of keys, gates, coins, all of that from 5 down to 2, which is a key update.
Class balance updates. Henry, give me the rundown.
Yeah, absolutely. Ton of changes coming. The class balance changes are a hefty chunk of the release notes. It's worth maybe searching up your classes to see if something changed, but I'm going to give you a quick plus or minus on a lot of the key classes that changed, but there's a few that I'm not going to get to since this is the express version. So here we go, real quick style. Slayer Punisher got a nerf. War Dancer First Intention got a buff. Soul Fist got a rework, but it's definitely a buff. Same with Glavier. Pinnacle got pretty reworked, and there's some control changes as well, but seems to be a buff overall. Striker ESO got a buff. Deadeye got a rework, but also definitely a buff. Artillerist was nerfed. Sharpshooter got a buff. Machinist got a buff. Summoner got a nerf. Igniter got a nerf. Shadowhunter got a pretty big buff. And Deathblade and Reaper got some small buffs as well. That's the very quick TLDR of the balance changes. Once again, hop in there, check out your class. There's a good chance that some of the skills or other things changed with it. For a few classes, there were actual skills that were completely changed or removed. We will be doing an amulet tripod skill compensation for those classes. So if you had a class with a skill that was removed that you'd leveled up, you'll get an amulet to replace that so you can level up another comparable skill to fill that one slot.
So you've closed your patch notes. I assume that means we've done enough.
We've done enough, but there are probably literally thousands of changes that we haven't covered in this video. Like we mentioned earlier, the goal was to be kind of an express version of the patch notes since there are so many things to read through. But we hope if you're curious and want to learn more, you can just dive into the written version down below. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us for the first patch notes video. I'd love to leave everyone with a community question. What would you like to see heading forward from patch notes videos? Let us know in the YouTube comments. We'd love to hear any feedback you have, level of detail, more visuals, anything that you have. We'd love to hear as we continue making this series and also new series in the future for the community. See you in Arcasia.